Welcome back to something you've never seen before. Yes, for 2026, myself and Archie have a new series in the podcast, Indy NXT Debrief, as we round up all the action from every Indy next weekend.
We will speak to some of the key drivers from the weekend and take you through all of the key storylines so you can catch up on everything from IndyCar's premier junior series.
Like IndyCar, Indy NXT started their season on the streets of St. Petersburg this weekend, which saw Nikita Johnson victorious to open the 2026 season. We caught up with Max Taylor, though, who qualified on pole position and finished runner-up. So without further ado, here's Max. So we're joined by Max Taylor. Max, we had you on a couple of months ago. So firstly, good to see you back. How's your kind of off-season been before we crack on to St. Petersburg?
Yeah, thanks for having me back. The off-season has been good. Just keeping busy in the car, and as well, I've been doing a lot of coaching for USF for VRD. So always at a racetrack, basically, which is what I love, So yeah, no, it's been good, but I was really happy to come to St. Pete last weekend and finally race again.
So obviously a pretty strong start to the season for you, taking pole on the Saturday and then finishing second on Sunday. So how are you kind of feeling a couple of days on now? You've had a bit of time to reflect on it.
Yeah, I mean, again, our speed the whole weekend was really, really impressive. We were fastest in every session, even the race we had fast laps. So I think I really showed a lot of people, opened up a lot of eyes there that weekend. And just messed up on the start of the race, which ended up costing me the win. But it is what it is. It's a long year. You live and you learn. I won't make that mistake again. I know that. But yeah, no, it was a really good weekend. Good way to start off the year for sure.
And you really started well on Friday, hitting the ground running. You're about almost half a second clear in practice then. So I guess, how did you manage to get up to speed so quickly? What was maybe some of the preparation you did before the weekend that really helped you adapt so quickly in your first weekend with the team?
Yeah, the whole off season has been really great. Much more of that sort of speed throughout the off season. So, it's been really impressive, really good. Just honestly, such a pleasure to work with everyone at Andretti. It really is such an amazing team. They run it so professionally and just really, really well run. And I think that's what helps us to be so fast and, like you said, hit the ground running really well. I know St. Pete. I know that track. I've been there the past 2 years, so that probably helped me as well. But honestly, just having the confidence in the car and in the team, knowing I can be that fast, just gives me even more ability to go out and do it. So I think that's for sure part of it.
And what is it about the team specifically? You kind of mentioned the professionalism. What is it that kind of makes them so professional, that gives you that sort of confidence? Is there any kind of specific thing within the team that is really helping you in that way?
I think it's a bunch of little things, to be honest. They've been doing it for so long and they've been successful for so long that they almost have a formula for winning. So everything just works right. Everything is in its right place. A few specific people, obviously my engineer, Don Bricker, me and him have been working really well together, and I'm really excited to continue that this year. So that's really good. That's a really vital first step. And then as well, the coach, Bob Perona, he's amazing. Honestly, one of the best coaches I've worked with. He's able to break it down in a way that you can understand it and really just maximize everything. And then even, Don Lambert, the team manager, he's super important role, organizing everything, helping with everything. And even to all the other people like Gabby, she's sort of our PR person and almost like babysitter to all of us. She brings us around, make sure we're not late. All the little things just make it so perfect that I'm able to go out there and perform.
And obviously this was your first weekend with them. Did you have any kind of link to the IndyCar guys? Was that separate? Were you able to kind of take anything from them? Obviously, I know it's very early stages, your first weekend, but is there much of a connection?
Yeah, I was able to talk to Kyle Kirkwood a few times throughout the weekend, just because their session was right after ours always. So he'd always be there on the pits when we're getting off the track. So I kind of be able to talk to him and be like, yeah, this is how the track is, and sort of help him out a little bit more than he's helping me. But yeah, no, it's really, really cool that we're able to have the relationship with the IndyCar guys, and I think it'll be even more and more throughout the season for sure.
And as Archie said, Friday was a really good day for you, and that performance we saw transferred into qualifying. So just talk us through kind of how that qualifying session went. You were obviously very quick straight away. So how did that feel? How did the car feel like throughout that session?
Yeah, I mean, throughout practice 1 and practice 2, we were P1, so I knew we just needed to go out there and execute it at the end of the day. We had the speed, the car was good, and I knew that. So, but I mean, that being said, it wasn't easy for sure. I mean, I think everyone before the first qualifying of the year, especially, is super nervous. You could tell like everyone's just waiting around, and you can tell the nerves are going. So, and even for me as well. So, but I knew I just needed to stay calm and like I have been doing, just trusting the process and yeah, having the confidence in the car and the team that will be there, and I just have to go out there and do what I have been doing. So yeah, we went out and did that throughout the first session. Throughout the qualifying, we were P1, I think, by about 4 tenths. Then it went red, and we had about 3 minutes left. And then I was able to improve again at the end, another tenth or so, when no one else could. So I mean, it was a really, really good session. I think we executed it really well. Yeah, it was good.
And obviously, you're not a series rookie as such, but it's your first full season. It's your first year of Andretti. So, kind of for you, what's kind of the significance of the emotions of getting that first pole? How significant is it to start that well with a new team in your first full season?
It really was. I don't know if I showed it so much, but I was a little bit emotional there for sure. Like, it was really a big wow moment, a big moment for me, pulling into the pits, seeing all the photographers and all the cameras in front of me that I'd seen a dozen times from Hauger or whomever from last year. So it was really cool to have that moment there and kind of be like, okay, this is real. Our pace is real, and we can really go out there and challenge to win this whole thing. And now getting second in the race and seeing Nikita have all that stuff just motivates me even more to go win it next weekend in Arlington. But yeah.
I guess you've not really had that sort of media attention. You had media day, I guess, earlier in February. So how do you find all of that stuff? Because I guess that's quite a new thing, obviously, now being full-time in Indy NXT.
Yeah, I mean, it's very different to USF Pro for sure. It's a lot more. Just a lot more, to be honest. Like, I was doing some interviews for like the local news and stuff, but honestly, I don't mind it. I mean, yeah, I don't mind it so much. And like right now at this level, it's really good practice for when I get to IndyCar as well, for me to be really polished. And but yeah, no, I don't mind it. I'm all good with it.
That's good. And I guess looking on to race day, what was your plan? And then I know you said it after the race, you said it there that you made an error on the start. So what kind of did you do, and what in future maybe could you do differently?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have my debrief with my engineer and my coach pretty soon here, so we'll go over all of that. I haven't gotten a chance to really go over it. I've seen the onboard of the race. I think I just messed up the start a little bit, so it didn't get me a good launch, and then probably broke too early in turn 1. So, I mean, we'll have to debrief it, go over it, see what I can do better for the preparation. Because I think the rest of the race was good. I think the car was pretty good. Our pace was really good. Fast lap again, but just difficult to pass around there for sure. So it was really all down to the lap 1, turn 1. But yeah, we'll review it, and I'm working hard always just to not make that mistake again.
And after that point, we did see kind of a lot of restarts. So what was it like kind of managing all those restarts? And you said it was difficult to pass. Did you feel those restarts were your only opportunity to take back that lead?
Yeah, for sure. I knew it was a big opportunity on the restarts, and I got a few chances at them, but even still, it's very difficult to get close. Like with how fast these Indy NXT cars are, the sort of accordion effect is really big. You gain on the braking zone and then lose a lot on the exit, as it's hard to put down power. So even on the restarts, it was hard to get a really good run, to have a really good go at Nikita. But I mean, I did what I could. Again, we'll review it, see if I could have done anything better. But yeah.
I guess it's kind of good that you do maybe leave the weekend having got a pole, finished your best results ever, being a little bit disappointed. But I guess at the end of it, like, is it more disappointment? Are you happy with it? Like, what's the balance of that in your mind when you reflect back on the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm never happy with the P2 at the end of the day. I mean, my goal when I go out there is to win, and I had to sort of force myself to smile a little bit on the podium. But talking to a lot of people from the team and people who are, supporting me, and They're telling me like I did a really good job this weekend because I did, and P2 at the end of the day, it isn't so bad. Of course, I wanted to win, but it's a long season, it's a long championship, and I know I won't make the same mistake again. And I think at the end of the day as well, it just makes me even more motivated to go out there and win in Arlington.
And I guess we saw in the off-season you top loads of the tests and come to St. Petersburg, and people could be sandbagging, not showing their full pace, but everyone's trying at their maximum St. Petersburg, and your show you clearly have the pace throughout the weekend. So what does it kind of do to your belief that you can really push for the championship after kind of validating the form we saw from you pre-season?
Yeah, absolutely. It is validating to know that my pace is real. And yeah, I mean, the first step to winning is being fast, but there's a whole lot more that comes to it. So I need to make sure I execute better and not lose the lead on the start and stuff like that. But we have a good starting position where we know we're fast, and we're going to be fast at probably most of these tracks. So it's just going to be all about executing and putting it together. I think it's not going to be easy for sure.
And then you head to Arlington next, obviously a new event for everybody. Any thoughts of it? Are you looking forward to the Club IndyCar's new marquee event there?
Yeah, Arlington looks to be really, really sick. I think a lot of people are really excited for it. Brand new race, brand new event. No one knows what's going to happen. So it's going to be really exciting for sure. And I think it's a really cool, unique challenge. We're all looking forward to attacking it for sure.
Max, that's what we've got for you. Congratulations on the weekend. Obviously, we know it's not the result you wanted, but well done nonetheless. You did drive very impressively, like your colleagues are saying. And hopefully we'll see you many times on the show this season and continue to see some success.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So there was Max, but now we will give you a bit of a flavour of what happened through the weekend, starting off with qualifying. So starting on Friday, it was a good start to the year for the title defending 28 car, piloted by, as you've just heard from, Max Taylor, who dominated throughout practice on his debut for Andretti, including a nigh on half-second lead on Friday. So he went into qualifying then on Saturday as very much the favourite for pole position. Qualifying actually started with an incident for Enzo Fittipaldi, who a lot of people have come into this season tipping to possibly do a Dennis Hauger, given the parallels of success for both of the pair in Formula 2. But he struck the wall, exiting turn 3, limped back to the pits and took no further part. That was in the opening group of qualifying quite early on. Nikita Johnson for Cape Motorsport, in their new partnership with Ed Carpenter Racing, guaranteed himself in that group a front row start by topping Group 1 ahead of Andretti's Lockie Hughes and Andretti newbie Josh Pearson, though that was with the knowledge that the second group, which included Taylor, and therefore carries the pole winner usually. Indeed, Taylor very quickly set the pace in that second group. He went quicker than Johnson's time pretty early on and ultimately dominated that group from his teammate Seb Murray by over half a second, I think it was, to take pole position in his first appearance with Andretti. Murray actually started a career best third, which is 5 positions better than his best qualifying as a rookie last year with the Andretti Cape team. Timet Kuharczyk qualified well to start 5th on his debut with HMD, with Miles Rowe, who's one of the title favourites, only 7th for Able Motorsports, and he actually lined up alongside another debutant in AJ Foyt Racing with HMD Motorsports, Alessandro De Tullio, who was 4th in USF Pro 2000 last year, qualifying 8th. There was another fairly hefty accident, actually, in that second group for Cape ECR's Matteo Nannini in the turn 2-3 complex. He actually damaged all 4 corners of his car, but he was okay and started Sunday's race, which Taylor led to green from Johnson. Dan?
Taylor may have dominated qualifying, but that didn't last long when Johnson flew around the outside into turn 1 and took the lead, a position he would never relinquish for the rest of the race. However, there was drama on lap 1 when Jack Beaton spun in turn 4 as May tried to avoid him, as the caution was called for Beaton spin and some debris because of the accident. After the green flag flew once again, that didn't last very long, unfortunately. So the caution was pulled 4 laps later after Carson Etter got into a minor accident on debut, which ultimately resulted in the front wing getting stuck underneath his car, which left him hopeless into the turn 7 barrier. The early caution frenzy continued on lap 17 when Nicholas Monteiro hits the wall, one of the rookie drivers in his second start, and Indy NXT hit the wall heading out of turn 8, which brought out the caution once again. We weren't done for cautions there, as on the restart, Chip Ganassi racing teammate Niels Coulon and James Rowe got into an accident, sending both of them out the race in a disaster day for Ganassi, where 3 of their 4 cars retired. Despite all the cautions, it was smooth sailing for Johnson, who held off Taylor on every restart and led every single lap on his way to a home victory, growing up just 15 minutes from the track in Florida. Taylor put pressure on Johnson for the majority of the race, but with overtaking particularly difficult on the St. Petersburg streets, Taylor had no chance outside the restarts. Kuharczyk finished 3rd on his Indy NXT debut ahead of Murray, who had his best ever career run in 4th. Lockie Hughes, one of the pre-season title favourites, was in 5th ahead of another pre-season title favourite in Miles Rowe in 6th. Josh Pearson was the final Andretti car as he finished in 7th place ahead of Salvador D'Alba and Juan Manuel Correa, with D'Attulio rounding up your top 10 finishes. Enzo Fittipaldi was a particularly disappointing 17th, unable to make significant progress in a very bad start for one of the pre-season title favourites.
Given it is only round 1, there is not much to say on the standings front. Johnson leads Taylor by 13 points, Kuharczyk 3rd, and Murray, who was 13th in the standings last year, is obviously 4th after his career best result. There's a little bit of ground to make up early on for 2 of the title favourites, as you were saying, Dan, with the pair who finished 3rd and 4th in the standings last year, Hughes and Rowe, obviously 5th and 6th. Fittipaldi was obviously another fancy protagonist, but he is certainly on the back foot from down in 17th. Johnson and Kuharczyk are off to a very good start in the rookie battle. Taylor is not a rookie, a reminder, because he raced 7 times last year. Johnson also raced last year, but only 3 times. D'Attulio is currently 3rd in the rookie standings with Beaton, and Max Garcia, who is the reigning Indy Pro 2000 champion, finishing the race 12th, so he is 5th in the rookie standings. D'Attulio, Beaton, and Garcia all finished line astern in 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Throughout Johnson's career, he's been very successful on the St. Petersburg streets, so we caught up with him post-race to ask why St. Petersburg suits his driving style so much. And, being a home race to Johnson, we asked him the significance of winning so close to home. Cheers, Dave. Well done, everybody. Just starting off with Nikita, obviously you've got a great track record at St. Petersburg, so is there anything in particular that maybe really suits your driving style as to why you're so successful here particularly?
I just think it's a low grip track and I don't know. I think I've had pretty good success on low grip tracks where you really have to drive the car, on the limit and pretty close to the walls. So for me, street courses are my favorite types of tracks. And to come back and win at St. Pete again, I think I won in 23 and 24. Missed out last year, but to be back here is just amazing, and all the support from my hometown fans is just crazy.
And then on a personal note for you being your hometown race, kind of how significant or how does it feel to kind of win so close to your home place?
Yes, it feels amazing. It's also great that I can drive over only 10 minutes in the morning, sleep in my own bed, see all my friends and family at night, have a nice easy dinner, and then everybody comes out, and like Tim said, it gives you that little extra push. So always when you have fans and, friends and family out there, they give you that little bit more motivation, and it's just amazing to have them out.
Now, you may have seen on the Indy NXT broadcast throughout the weekend, if you're watching, Tibet Kuharczyk's rather bizarre fear. This fear is of butter, a delicacy that many of you may enjoy, which makes it all the more bizarre why Kuharczyk is so afraid of butter. We decided to get the answers post-race as we asked Kuharczyk as to why he is so afraid of butter and the very funny response that followed. Enjoy this clip. And just for Timek, a lot's been made on the broadcast about your fear of butter. So could you just kind of elaborate on why you're so scared of butter and where that's come from?
I don't know. I just don't like butter. I wouldn't touch it with 2 meter long steak. So, yeah.
Got a shot of butter. Nah, well done.
I took the picture this morning.
Yeah, is that
just
pancakes? Is that what?
Yeah,
it's just bagel with some butter on the side.
Bagel with butter.
Stick of butter right there in the picture.
I mean, if you'd have that on rear wing, I would stay as far from you as I could. So, yeah. I just don't like butter.
All right, cheers, guys. Thanks for the clarification there, Timek. So Indy NXT will be back on track in Arlington in 2 weeks' time alongside IndyCar as the track makes its debut. So that's it for the St. Petersburg Indy NXT Debrief, something new to DIVEBOMB IndyCar Podcast. So hopefully you all listening along enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions for anything you want to see as part of Indy NXT Debrief, let us know. A big thanks to Max for his time, and we certainly hope you enjoyed the first episode of Indy NXT Debrief. But for this time, thanks very much for watching, thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.